It finally happened, bro. Crystron support. Can't. After what? Almost 9 years? Better late than never. What's going on, Rogue fam? I'm Rung the Rogue Man. And what you have in front of you right now is a Rogue deck. We're going to be talking about Crystron's post Suda Supreme Darkness. We're going to go ahead, give them a read over, give them a review, go ahead and give them a test hand. You know the formula works at this point in time. Let's go right into it. So, beginning with our deck list here, we have Crystron. This is more of a pure build. I do have a replay showing like a super heavy samurai build. Not a big fan of the adventure build personally. That's not my cup of tea. So with that being said, starting with 3 of the new card, Crystron Tristalos. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon 1 Crystron monster from your deck except itself. Then synchro summon 1 machine monster using monsters you control. Very good, very strong. And it also has the secondary effect of you can destroy any synchro monster you control and then special summon 2 Crystron monsters from your deck. Notice it doesn't say except itself or them being the different names, so it can be anything, but you're locked into machines from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So yeah, mini Helic on steroid. 3 copies of Sulfurneer. We all know what this does, right? Discards a Crystron card, summon itself, pop something. If it pops itself, you can beam into a Crystron from the deck. 2 copies of Fist Wyvern. We play, I'm currently dancing between 2 and 3 for sub frog reasons as a good discard, because we want to get these cards into the graveyard as soon as possible. So opening it up isn't bad. Currently testing these 2 of these 2 used to be 3 copies of the 3rd copies of Trist and Smiger, but I'm not testing ratios right now. But this could be 3 easily for better discards for Subfrog. So you know it can banish this from the graveyard to go ahead and add a Crystron monster. Also it can destroy a face up card on the field to special summon out a Crystron tuner, but you're hard locked into machine tuners, machine synchro monsters from the extra deck. Smiger, pretty much the same thing, you know, summon from deck, locked into synchro machines. Also, it can banish it from the graveyard and add a Crystron spell or trap card from your deck. And finally, the fabled Crystron spell has indeed dropped. So maybe, who knows, maybe we'll get the Necros trap soon, or pop and destroy and to search. So keep in mind that when they use one effect for the turn, they cannot use the other effect. So if you use the search, you can't use the pop. If you use the pop, you can't use the search. 2 copies of the other new card, which is Sulfur Hole. I'm an adult. It's a Sulfurneer Port 2. What this does, it can destroy a on the field or Crystron card in the field, and when it's special summoned or normal summoned, you can go ahead and send up to 2 Crystron cards with different names from your deck to your hand, from your deck to your graveyard, I should say. The deck needed an effect like this badly, and I'm so glad it's here. Oh my god, yes. Yeah. For our one of Crystrons, we play 1 copy of Resonix. You know, same thing as on before, but this one can banish itself from the graveyard to make a token level 1. This one can go ahead and banish itself from the graveyard to special out a Crystron from your hand. Right, and for one of Tuna, we play the best girl, Citri. Right, she can go ahead and tune by summoning a monster from the graveyard to tune, but the monsters in itself are banished instead of going to the graveyard. For our supplementary engine, we're playing 3 copies of Subfrog and 1 copy of Triple M. Well, Double M I should say, because this can go ahead and set up a Toad play before actually doing anything. So you know, you discard any one of these guys to the graveyard to stomp her, and then reborn her with this, and then make a Toad before you commit to any of your plays. Really good. For our Crystron spell and traps, we play 3 copies of Crystron Inclusion, the fabled Crystron spell. So in this card art, you can see like mini Hulky Fibrox absorbing what's this, Barastos energy or something like that to become Icalos. But yeah, 3 copies of Inclusion. This can search upon activation of any Crystron card. You can banish it from graveyard to special summon one of your Crystron monsters from your graveyard, and it has battle protection for each first battle. Really good card, really good card. 1 copy of a Crystron Cluster. It's the power trap you search at the end of your combo or during your combo. Crystron cards you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effects. Really good. You can target 1 card on the field, or up to 2 cards on the field if you control a Crystron Synchro. So you know, this guy or Icalos, Skeletals, right? And then you can go ahead and put back one of your Crystron cards from your graveyard or banishment into the deck, and then destroy the targeted card. So basically it's Crystron Chuche but instead of putting back 2, it puts back 1 and can pop 2. So it's like an inverse Crystron Yugioh. 1 copy of Impact, because I really like this card. It is searchable. The funny thing about Crystrons as a deck is you can't really, it's hard to theory craft because every hand is unique and every hand will play differently, right? So sometimes you open this and you can just add this, or you open multiple of this and you can just add this. It's, it comes up from time to time. It's really good. 1 copy of Miraculous as our, bit of our non-engine, which is searchable by, River Stormer. For our non-engine, going second cards, we have 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru, 3 Imperm, 3 Droplet. Droplet in this deck is utterly insane, because you can Droplets, send a Smiger, send a Thrist, send a Solve 2, and then activate this and go for game. It's crazy. It's crazy in this deck, honestly. 1 copy of Call by the Grave, Call by the Grave is indeed Call by the Grave. 1 copy of Foolish Burial to dump whatever we need. Either a Solve 2, Solve 1, a Thrist, or a Smiger, whatever you may need in that specific scenario. You can even dump Triple M to go ahead and make some plays, right? So that's something that comes up. For our extra deck, we play 1 copy of Zero Dragon Trishula. It does come up when you can't get 2 tuners on the field. You can summon out one of these guys from the deck and have this on field to make a 11, and then just go into this guy and banish 3 cards. Satellite Warrior, it does come up. We can pop 4 cards. You can go Quandax plus Rosenex into this to reborn one of your tuners, and then that will go ahead and bring out the Stardust Dragon and go ahead and synchro off into Satellite Warrior to pop 4, right? So yeah, I'm kind of on the edge about it personally, so it might change. With that being said, we have 1 copy of Korean Ganjax. Love this card. Very good card. Once it's synchro summoned, you can target up to 3 cards. It's going to be 3 all the time because, it basically counts the amount of materials you used for a synchro summon. But majority of the time, you're going to be using 3. So you can target up to 3 monsters on the field and or graveyard, your opponent's and or graveyard, and banish them. If this synchro summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can go ahead and special summon one of your banished cards, right? Except itself, I believe. Right? You can go ahead and special summon it. The Stardust combo, which would be Axel and Dragon, which I just explained, so you understand. 1 copy of the Elescaltes, right? One copy of Elescaltes. When it's synchro summoned, you can go ahead and add a Crystron card from your banishment or graveyard to your hand. It's a really good recursion card. Also, monsters your opponent control lose 500 attack and defense. Kind of a forgetful effect, right? But also, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, as it was synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 Crystron monster from your graveyard or your banishment. Really good. 1 copy of Drugster. We're kind of starving for machine stuff, so So 1 copy of Drugster that we can go into pretty easily, and we can always get it back if you want to. 1 copy of Poured Section. Maybe sometimes you can't really set up a decent board, but getting to turn 3 can be so big for you. You can make a Poured Section and basically blank their turn. They can't hit you for game, nothing like that. So it really does. It's really fine. It does come up. You can make it with Rosenex and any of your 2 tuners. You have level 2 tuners. 1 copy of Quandax. This is the one that can summon any synchro monster. It doesn't have to be a machine, and also it has the same effect of floating if it's destroyed while it was synchro summoned. Really good, really good. 1 copy of Infinite Shock River Stormer to search the king. We want to go ahead and go into a negate when possible, so that we can protect our Tristalos effect from to summon from deck. We really want to resolve, so to have it protected is really nice. 1 copy of Toad, same reasons as the king here, to protect our combos. 1 copy of Platinum Gadget, because sometimes we do really want to summon one of these guys from our hand, right? It really does come up, not going to lie. It comes up a little bit as too much as I'd like for my own liking, but better to have it than to not have it, right? 1 copy of Almirage. Sometimes we have to go ahead and normal summon Smiker to begin our 1-card combos, or normal common Thirst to begin our 1-card combo. So, go ahead and normal summon Smiker, link off Smiker into Almirage here, and basically you're off in the races. 1 copy of Goliath, because most case scenario, we want to go ahead and also have both these cards in graveyard. So we detach one to go ahead to add king, and then king summon itself by targeting one of these, and then linking off Goliath to get the other one in graveyard, because we're really doing it in graveyard for the combo to persist, right? So most times that does come up. And you know, one copy of Splitting Light, this could be anything. In fact, I was playing Clifford Genius before this, so if they would like stop this, I could go ahead and make Clifford Genius, use Tristalos effect to summon 2 from the deck, 2 zones that Clifford Genius points to add the king anywhere, right? So that's something to think about. It could be, this could be Clifford Genius. But that's the extra deck, and that's the entire deck profile. No side deck, of course, because we don't know what kind of meta we'll have in January of next year. But with that being said, let's go ahead and show off some replays of what we're trying to accomplish here, right? Let's get it! For our first replay, this will be a pure list, right? For our first replay, we have Imperm, Pras, Supfrog, Smiger, and Impact. Open a couple of our one-offs. That's fine. This deck is really flexible in its combos, hence why I say it's hard to 3-craft, because you need to see what's in your hand to actually truly play. But let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to go ahead here and summon out the Supfrog by discarding the Smiger, dumping out the Mage, activate the effect to summon out the Mage, right? And then we can go ahead and overlay those into Toad. So now that we're insulated, we can actually go up into our most important plays. So go ahead and banish out the Smiger, get the inclusion, get the Solve 2 effect to pop this and summon itself. Dump 2 names. In this case, we're going to dump copy of Thrist and copy of Solve 1. Alright, no, we're not. Oh, we're going to dump a copy of Cluster. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and activate the effect of the Thrist 1 in graveyard to discard a card, summon itself, and then go ahead and pop something. In this case, we're going to go ahead and pop the barrier card, because we want to overlay up into a copy of Stormer to get King. And then we're going to go ahead and activate King's effect to go ahead and equip that. And something to keep in mind is that as long this card doesn't really care how it's destroyed, just as long as it's destroyed. So if it's destroyed as a spell, as a monster, it doesn't matter. So we're going to use the graveyard effect of inclusion to bring out a copy of the Pras effect to go ahead and destroy the River Stormer, and then bring out the Tuner here. Going to link those off for a copy of Quandax. Going to destroy the Quandax by using the graveyard effect of Tristalos. Bring out 2 monsters here. We'll bring out a Rosenex and another Tristalos, triggering the effect of the decks in graveyard to bring out a copy of Solve 2. Sync those off into a copy of Escaltes. We're going to go ahead and add back the cluster that we dumped earlier. Pop the Escaltes to bring out another Tuner, which will then trigger the float effect of Escaltes. This to bring out back the ducks that we popped earlier. Then we're going to go ahead and set 2, set 3, pass turn. So this board probably might seem a bit weird, right? You're probably wondering, why didn't we just pop this for the effect of Pras? So here's something like to think about with my plays, right? Let's say we were to go up against like any kind of board breaker, specifically Darkly No More, droplets, stuff like that. So even if they were to drop Darkly No More the board, we would still have the ability to pop this card with this, because we control this guy. We can pop 2 cards. So we can pop one of theirs, pop one of ours, which will be the Solfenir. Solfenir will then float into a Tuner from the deck to continue our plays, and we can clear our zones using these guys so we can play the game. But in this case, the regular board, we have basically 1, 2, 3 negates, right? We have 3 negates. Follow up. We can go ahead and activate this effect to put back the Escaltes to pop 2. Quick synchro off into the line from before, bring out 1. Go ahead, synchro summon up into the Starlight Warrior, right? And then we can effect to bring out back this. If they're still playing the game, we can just use the effect, bring out another level 2. At the time I was playing 2 C3 at the time, but in this case you could just put back C3 into the deck and then summon it back and leave Escaltes in the graveyard, and then go up into a copy of Gandrax, right? Really cool stuff. And then Gandrax effect pop 2, and then we have all the follow up in the world to do whatever you want. On to the next replay. Right, so here now we have the super heavy samurai build that I was talking about earlier. I just wanted to show off what you could do. So for this time we have Inclusion, we have Mourner, we have Ash, Smiger, and Wakaushi. Wakaushi by itself is pretty much full combo. You know, Wakaushi is a very strong card. We can go ahead here, effects, equip, non-equip, overlay into Gear Giant. And in this case we could just add the copy of Smiger, and the moment you get to Smiger, that's just basically a full combo right there. So yeah, since we already had the Smiger in hand, we're going to add a Thrist. We're going to normal summon the Thrist, go ahead and go up into Plea for Genius, which was I was speaking about earlier, that you can play this card. You can banish that, add a copy of Self number 1, activate Inclusion of Self number 2, effect the discard number 2, and then destroy itself to bring out a copy of the Tristalos, and then Self number 2 to pop the Inclusion to bring itself out to dump 2 bodies. In this case it will be Cluster, and it will be another Smiger. Banish Smiger to go ahead and add Impact. We can go ahead now and Synchro Summon into Escaltes. Alright. Add back the copy of Cluster, effect to pop 2, bring out Rosenix, bring out Citri, and then it will trigger the effect of Cleave for Genius because it does summon them at the same time. We can go ahead, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, bring up back the Tristalos, add a copy of King, summoning King by equipping anything really. It could have been even this, could have been anything. We're going to go ahead. So we're going to reborn. So instead of summoning Tristalos by Escaltes, we're going to reborn the Sulfurneer that we have in Graveyard, and then use the effect of Inclusion to reborn the Souls number 2, which we're going to overlay into a copy of Nova, into a copy of Infinity. We want to do this before activating Resonance effect, because Resonance effect will lock us into Synchro Machines. So we go ahead, set those, effect, pop that, bring out a copy of Ryan, and then synchro off into a copy of Dragster. So here we have 1, 2, 3 negates, and then to access to 2 quick synchros and 2 hand traps. Go ahead, negate. Bring out back Ryan, effect, summon out Pras to go into Quandax. Alright, we can go ahead now into Citri to synchro off into Product Injection. You know how these players go, protect us from the turn, Cluster effect to pop 2 cards, and then effect to go up into a level 10. Alright, so we can just go ahead and do that. Which in this case will go ahead and pop 3 cards. And then our hand traps. Alright, so in this replay we opened up a bit of an awkward hand. We have the Tristalos in hand already, and we've opened up Barrier with 2 hand traps, right? This is the thing about this deck. This hand might seem bad, but there are ways to convert it into something very decent. So let's go ahead and do so now. So we can go ahead and dump, Reborn. Instead of making Toad here, because if we make Toad here, we won't accomplish anything, right? We'll just end on Toad and then Imperm and Ash. We're going to synchro up into Quandax, and then pop Quandax using the effect of Tristalos to bring out 2 bodies, which in this case will be these 2. Go ahead, dump 2 bodies, 2 names, overlay into a copy of the River Stormer effect to go ahead and add the King effect to go ahead and equip the Sulfurneer from the graveyard, I do believe, right? Sulfurneer. Link off that into a copy of the Goliath, because again, we want this in graveyard, so we can use this pop effect. So we'll go ahead and add 2 names, add Inclusion, add Paras. Alright, we're going to go ahead and activate the effect of Solve 2 to pop Solve 1, to go ahead and get the destruction effect of Solve 1 to summon out a body, which in this case will be another Solve 2, because we want to go ahead and get into our Infinity. Right, so now we have 2 negates to go ahead and continue playing. We're going to activate the effect of Inclusion to add Cluster. Normal summon a copy of Pras because we have normal summon yet. We're going to go ahead and discard a card. Effect to go ahead and destroy something. Effect to go ahead and destroy something. I think we're going to recur this because I don't think we have any zones to do this, so probably fix it. Alright, that's probably what's going to happen here. Add Cluster. Yeah, indeed. So we're going to go ahead here, and instead of popping the Ice Barrier spell, we're going to make Pras pop itself, basically, to free up zone space because we want that for follow-up. So we're going to add that effect, reborn. So now we have 2 negates, a quick access to basically all our quick synchros and the chuche and the hand traps. So you negate something with that, you get something with that effect, reborn, go up into our negate number 3, which will be the dragster. So we basically made 3 negates. Right, we're going to activate the effect of cluster because we control a Crystron synchro monster. We can pop 2, which will be one of ours and one of theirs. So we'll put back C3, pop our the Elascaltes. Go ahead, effect of Elascaltes to reborn our copy of Tristalos. This is now a 5, remember. So now we're going to synchro, summon out the Stitcher that we put back to synchro out into the level 4 and 5 into a synchro 9, which will be the effect of Gandrax to go ahead and bomb the field technically. Negate, Ash, and then from here we have so much follow-up because you could pop your own Quandrax to float into this to dump more names and then just begin plays again. Really cool stuff, really cool stuff. I love this deck. I'm glad to see it have support. With that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments about the Crystron support. Stay synchro summoning, stay safe. Let's go.